Okay, that bushing's installed. Let's start the second one. Remember, just a little bit at a time. Keep working around it. That way the bushing stays square with the hole. Okay, got my new bushings in. Now I gotta put it back together. Okay, now we're gonna put our hinge back together. I'm putting a spacer washer in there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, read the article in Ogre's Cave. It's a tremendous help. Now the really cool part about this is that we can install our pin from the bottom side. So God forbid we have to do this again. We will be able to take that pin out without cutting it in half. Now notice that the pin has only gone in a little ways, and I've still got this knurl part here right underneath the head that has to be driven up into the hinge. So turn your speakers down. I'm going to use my air hammer, but you can still do this with a normal hammer and a drift. Okay, so my hinge pin is up in place. It's not going to fall out because it's got that spring-loaded clip up here. So now I've got to put those two screws back in from the inside of the door. They were a nightmare to put in, or they were a nightmare to take out. I'm assuming they're going to be just as bad to put in, so there's no sense in you wasting your time watching me do that. So we'll be back in a second. Well, the upper hinge is back together. The biggest thing I can say, I'm not going to do the bottom hinge. The bottom hinge is pretty much the same. Hello, I said I'm not going to rebuild the lower hinge because it's pretty much the same process as the upper hinge, but you are going to need a GM door spring compressor tool. So what you do is you insert it, this V-groove into the spring, then you tighten down this nut on it, and it pulls this thing, compresses this down to depress the spring so you can take it out of the way. So I'm going to let you watch me do that. Alright, there's the springs out. And now you'll have access to now you'll be able to push the pin up out of the way. So you'd rebuild your hinge and then just put it back in. Okay, now that we've done our repair to our hinge bushings, we have to put this track back into place. Find your L-shaped brackets and one of your 10mm bolts. This is when you're going to wish you had really small hands. Get that one inside there just finger tight. You don't want to have it totally snug yet. Okay, once you get these two fairly just hand tight, now you can tighten up that one that's in that oval shaped hole. And finish off by tightening up these two. Make sure your window goes up and down.